one of the things that I've heard is that you were like listed as like one of the richest millionaire teens. I mean, how true is that? Is that hyperbole or?
Well, when I was 6 years old, I was named one of the youngest self-made millionaires. And I'm going to be quite honest with you, I didn't know that until one day I went to the drugstore to like CVS just to go look, and I went to the magazine section because I always loved like the puzzles and stuff. So I went to the section, and there I was on the cover of OK Magazine, and it said youngest self-made millionaire. And in my 6-year-old brain, I said to my mom, I said, I could buy a lot of American Girl dolls with that. So yes, it is true, but a lot of people think it's like, oh, I was handed $1 million. No, I earned that over the course of a long time, and frankly, a lot of my money, most of my money, is put away in an account that I can't get to until I'm a certain age. So,
I mean, the money was made like through television and things like that.
Yeah, so it was made through television. I also had a jewelry company called Glitzy Girl that I did. I also had a clothing line called Bound by the Crown. So it was kind of an accumulation of many different income sources.
Well, let's talk about fashion. I mean, it sounded like you started really early. I mean, what first got you into fashion? I mean, it's not the usual thing of a 6-year-old or younger is going to be drawn to.
Right. Well, I was always, I did pageants and I did all of those appearances, and nothing that I ever wore, I was either cute and not comfortable, or comfortable and not cute. So that's when I made Bound by the Crown Couture, which was my first clothing line. We started with a riding collection, which blew up. It was in JCPenney. It was in all of these stores. And then from there, now I have House of Barretti, which has continued from Bound by the Crown. And it's honestly just my love for clothes. I love clothes. My biggest inspiration is Chanel. So a lot of my inspiration comes from there. But I also just I'm a girl. I love to look cute. I love to dress up. So I think fashion is really, really my niche. And getting to do New York Fashion Week is incredible. The first year I did it, I was so excited, and now it's kind of like the norm to me. But I wish I could go back and experience it for the first time. But yeah, I love fashion, and I've been doing that for a very long time.
Now let's talk about House of Barretti. I mean, me sitting in the photo pit and talking to the young girls. I mean, it's a cachet for them to say they've walked for House of Barretti. And what's interesting is your clothing is very much designed for the teens. Was that your intent, to give them something that wasn't like some old-fashioned designer deciding what a teen should wear, as opposed to be a teen offering it to them?
Right. So a lot of girls, I know, especially me, it's like, well, I love designer brands, like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all of that. But their clothing section is either you get a hoodie or you get some really old looking clothes. So I wanted to design something that looked very rich and expensive, but was affordable for the young teen or adult like me who, maybe works a 9 to 5 and can't afford a $700 shirt, So I really wanted to do like luxury, but on a budget. I call it like a bad bitch on a budget. That's what I call it. But yeah, I designed for my demographic, because something that I would wear, I feel like a lot of people would also want to wear as well. And I get a lot of my inspiration, honestly, from younger adults as well, But I wouldn't feel like I'm limited to the teen demographic. I feel like we can cater to any age demographic, from younger to older. We do dresses and gowns, so a lot of the older, generation come to me as well for that. We do business suits, which is kind of now out of style, unfortunately, but that's what I was known for in the beginning of House of Barretti. So we still get a lot of orders for pageants and stuff. But yeah, I honestly, House of Barretti is like my prized possession.
Well, your mom was telling me that there is some news coming out of the house, some, movement that's exciting. Talk to me about what kind of new things are happening.
Well, we are expanding House of Barretti, so hopefully, branching out into different things, maybe like, skincare, more of like, House of Barretti is a lifestyle brand, but I feel like we only focus a lot on the clothing right now. So I think branching out is in the future for us, working with bigger brands, bigger event spaces, going to different fashion weeks, just trying to elevate, because it's hard to elevate in this world because everyone's in competition.
Now, are you thinking in terms of boutiques or things like that, or or do you see like the growth online?
So I've thought about boutiques, but I like to be my own boss. So I would like to open my own store, which is like the one location, because like that makes it more special to have like one location of House of Barretti in one store somewhere, which I would be the owner of. So I don't think I would go into boutiques. I would be open to it. I've done it a couple times with my old brand, Bound by the Crown, but I like to be hands-on with my customers. So
yeah, being 18, being declared one of the richest children in the world. Where does one go from here? Are you planning college or?
So right now I'm at that age. I graduated high school. I was homeschooled for since my middle of my junior year. I went homeschooled. So my junior and my senior year, I just graduated. So right now I'm just trying to figure it out. I wanted to go into the medical field. I wanted to branch out into different things because I want to try new things, So I'm kind of taking a year to figure that out because I don't want to just do something and then not like it, but.
Yeah, and where do you see House of Barretti while you were in school? Are you going to try to run both, or are you going to?
Well, House of Barretti kind of runs itself now. It's become, a big enough name to where it kind of functions on its own. The website's keep going. The website keeps going. Of course, I would probably have to put Fashion Week on hold for a year, which would be super, super sad. But I also have a lot of customers and clients where I could ship them the clothing. They could, do the photo shoots for me and then send me the pictures, and that's how I could use it for my website. Like, I have a lot of different outlets to where the business is able to run itself, because a little tip, if your business can't run without you, it's not a business, so.
Now, you've just kind of like wrapped up, the Fashion Week cycle. February, New York Fashion Week is coming up. What is your typical creative cycle? Do you take time to breathe, or is it like
the 6 months before any Fashion Week is like crunch time. It's like super mode, like no time off, no breaks, no nothing, because you have to design and then you have to plan the location, plan the photo shoots, you have to cast the models, you have to, make sure you have all the bases covered, so when you get there, you're not like, oh, well, I forgot to do this, So it's like a good 6 months before each Fashion Week, so I really don't get a break because it goes February, and then again in July is Miami. So February, March, April, May, June, July. That's 6 months. So I really don't get any time.
Finished doing a photo shoot. What do you like about modeling? You could be focused on everything behind the scenes, but there's, we're fairly effortless in front of the camera. What do you like about modeling?
I love modeling. What I like most about modeling is that I could be myself through a picture, because I would never do or take pictures of something that's not me. I always whenever I do whatever the outfits, even if I'm shooting for another brand, I always make sure that it's something that I would actually A, wear, or B, actually, take a photo somewhere. So I love that I could be me, and, I love pictures of myself. I love taking pictures. I love myself. So, I love being in front of the camera, and I think it's just came It's been a long time that I've been doing it for, so it's kind of come naturally now to where, like we were talking before, how, you know, we're new with working with each other, but I feel like, you know, it kind of just worked because I've done so many different things. I've worked with so many different, you know, working styles that I kind of feel like I can adapt to anything.
And, you know, say there's a model that walks for you in February and says, I want to be like you and have my own fashion brand. What advice would you give them?
Well, I offer Zoom classes for, you know, social media help and how to start your brand. I also have a lot of videos on my Instagram. It was called Business with Bella. They're in my Instagram Reels if you want to check them out. And it's a bunch of business tips, what websites to use to start a business, how to start a business if you're on a budget, what to do, where to go, have any questions. I always tell people, if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask me. Like, I'm an open book. Please ask me. So I do get a lot of those questions. How do I start my brand? And my biggest piece of advice is just be you. And just, you know, social media is a free platform to reach the entire world. It's free. So it's free advertising, where before, when, you know, businesses would try to be started, it was hard because you had to pay for billboards. It was a lot of time and investment, where, you know, there's so many free outlets of promotion, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, so many ways to reach every single person in this world. So I think it's like, now is the time, if you're gonna start a business, to do it.